Good afternoon, news fans, and this is PTD News Station. I'm Patrick Thomas Dolman. I'm coming to you today in reference to our assignment, as well as the different quests that we have researched in Chapter 10. In Chapter 10, we review the first quest, being that Jesus was seen by theologians as a rationalist, in the sense that all the divine things that have happened, for example, the 2 fish, turning the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread in feeding in one account 4,000 and in the next account 5,000. Some believe that it didn't really happen, but we understand he did feed a multitude of people. The second quest was the new quest, and in the new quest or no quest, it was taking those same things that happened in the Gospels. And in those Gospels, we take some of the myths away. Well, that's what we were first given. But here's what I'm presenting. I am presenting the third quest. And the third quest actually focused on the deeds of Jesus as well as his particular ministry. In chapter 10, it talks about the deeds of Jesus and also Jesus being an eschatological prophet. When you looked at all of the scriptures, but specifically in the book of John, as well as the latter parts of Luke, Jesus talks about the kingdom of God. He talks about heaven. He talks about how we are to conduct himself. And he begins to talk about and begins to speak about what the older prophets in the Old Testament began to talk about. And Jesus, we are to view, when we look at the Gospels, as the manifestation of those prophetic words. In chapter 10, page 429, it talks about, like I said before, Jesus being the eschatological prophet. And I quote, according to E.P. Saunders, one of the pioneers in the third quest, Saunders restores Jesus to his rightful place as a first century Jew, convinced of the nearness of the end of age. Jesus did his best to tell the Jews and tell those who would want to hear of the end times to come, which further drives the point of his ministry. And his ministry was, in all things, remind people that there was a set time and a set place, and that the Jews needed to get themselves together. Thanks, class.